Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for this video. My name is Jared Campbell. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in upstate New York, and I spend all of my time, well usually before COVID, I spent all my time traveling around. I perform in schools, typically around the northeast of the United States, but since COVID hit, I started doing all my shows, for the most part, virtually. And so I was able to connect with kids around the world virtually and play all kinds of shows. And I wanted to be able to come on here. This is my virtual setup here in my studio. But it's a great chance for me to kind of show what this guitar is all about. So this is an X10 Slimline carbon fiber, acoustic, electric, 13-pin synth-ready guitar made by Emerald out of Ireland. This is one of a handful of guitars that I've gotten from that company, and I'm blown away every time I get something from them and get to plug it in and hear how it sounds and get to play around with it. But this one is so cool because of all of its capabilities, and because I'm here in my studio, you know, I know that for me, when I was looking at guitars, I tried to do everything, as much research as I could when it came to these Emeralds, because, you know, you want to hear what they sound like, you want to know as best you can what they feel like. So I will tell you, because it is carbon fiber, you might be looking at it and saying, well, it doesn't look carbon fiber, it looks like it's made out of wood. And well, that's because there's a very thin wood veneer on the very front of the guitars, and it's super, super thin. And this one is Pau Ferro, I think is how you pronounce it. Beautiful wood grain. So the really cool thing is that even though it's a carbon fiber guitar with this really thin wood veneer across the top, it kind of makes it feel like it's still somewhat acoustic looking, at least. But it's carbon fiber. You can see, I don't know how well you can see it in the studio lights here, but it's all carbon fiber on the back and a beautiful carbon fiber weave. And this guitar is, like I said, it's called the X10 Slimline. It's called the Slimline because I don't have my other guitar. I have an X7 made by Emerald as well, which has a thicker body to it. But this one has more of a traditional, almost electric guitar body to it. But the way Emerald makes their guitars is amazing, because they've beveled out all of the areas where your body or your arm rests against the guitar. So even on the thicker body guitar that I have, the X7, it's a deeper body, but it still feels amazing just to hold and hang on to it and to play. So one of their trademarks of the Emerald guitars, and this is for, you know, if you've never seen any of these guitars before, some of you probably have researched them a lot, but they have the offset sound hole here. And so even though this is a slimmer guitar, when it's unplugged, and you're not going to be able to really hear it here because I'm all dialed into my studio setup, but when it's unplugged, it still has amazing resonance to it, and that sound is really coming out the top and being able to kind of be projected at you, the performer, which is really a cool thing. So with this X10 Slimline, I got it not so much for the unplugged properties, because it is a thinner body guitar, so it's not going to have as much depth as, say, the X20, X30. I've not played an X30 yet, but one of these days, I'm going to get my hands on one of those too. But the X20, amazing guitar, and the X7, deeper body guitar, so that you're going to have a fuller sound acoustically, unplugged. So if that's your aim, if that's your goal, if you're looking for something just to take literally on the mountains or into the rainforest, you can take these guitars anywhere because of their carbon fiber properties. But if you're looking to just be unplugged, maybe the deeper body guitar might be a little bit better suited for you. However, for me, especially what I'm doing here virtually, this guitar has blown my mind because of its capabilities. And I'm going to give you a little sample. Now, down at my soundboard here, excuse me, my pedal board, I'm running this guitar through a Line 6 HX effects. Really, the only thing I'm really doing there is I'm adding a little comp, a little bit of a boost, a little comp at times, at times with the boost, but comp, and then like a little bit of reverb and some light delay. Nothing crazy. The other thing that you might hear, especially if you have headphones on, is this guitar is going to sound huge, and the low end is going to be amazing. That's a little trick I learned along the way from the Boss Super Octave OC3. It's an octave pedal, which normally takes all of your strings and drops them an octave, but with the OC3, you can really dial it in to where you only have your lower strings presented with a lower octave sound. So when you're playing a chord, you're not getting all 6 strings, blasting out a lower octave. You're just getting those low strings. So it almost gives the presence of like having a bass player with you, which is really cool. Other than that, the acoustic side has nothing else that it's running through, okay? So I want to show you what just the acoustic piezo, which the piezo pickups are down here, and 6 individual piezo pickups for this setup, because it's got the 13-pin connection, being able to run synth sound. So it's got the piezo pickups, and then it's got this magnetic pickup made by Crevo pickups, which kind of gives it a different voicing as well. And I typically just tend to blend those voices together. But here's how the acoustic sounds right here. Straight acoustic. So for me, I love that sound. It's crisp, it's clean. When I'm playing chords, it's beautiful, it's rich. Like I said, that OC3 here, I'll take that pedal off. So that's without that pedal. So you're really gonna hear it if you have like headphones in or like some powerful speakers. But so without the OC3, still a great full sound. Here's with that on. Beautiful, beautiful. And the acoustic voicing on this has got 2 different EQ formats that you can kind of have. This is more of the fuller format, but then on the piezo volume knob, if you pull it up, it's kind of like a mid. I think they call it like a mid scoop, or takes a little bit of the lower end body out, and it's a little bit more chimier. So. Still beautiful. Here's without the OC3 pedal. With that volume knob pulled in the up position. And then here's back down. So you get a little bit more of that full body resonance. That's usually the way I keep it on this level. And then if you switch things over, there's a little toggle switch here. If you just click that over all the way, now you're engaging the magnetic pickup. So that's in this magnetic pickup, to me, it's a jazzier sound. It's a little bit darker. And I'm not really a jazz player, but so it's got a little bit of that muted almost feel to it. So And I'm running through the HX effects, and that doesn't have the amp modeling, but if you threw like an amp modeler on this, or if you ran it through like a tube amp, it would give you like a nice rich sound. But like I said, to me, and some of the magnetic pickups that I've played through, it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit more toned down in my taste, but it also acts as a really cool way to blend with the acoustic. So here's all acoustic. And then, if you just blend in the magnetic pickup, you get a little bit of a different sound. It almost makes it clearer, a little bit punchier, if you will. So really cool. All right, so that's the acoustic side of things with the piezo or with the magnetic pickup, or once again when you blend them. On the face of this guitar, you've got your magnetic volume, and then you've got your piezo volume with also that push-pull connection there to change the EQ. Your toggle back and forth between magnetic and piezo, and then down here, these 2 toggles will help engage the 13-pin or synth ready sounds. So I've got this running through the GR-55 made by Roland, and what I like about that is that does have amp modeling, but it also has and it's a little bit dated. It's not like some of the newer units that are out now with Line 6 Kemper, stuff like that. The Roland unit, yeah, it's a little dated. It might not have all the bells and whistles, but I still get a cool kind of electric feel. But it also has different guitar models as well, so you can make through the 13-pin you can make it sound like a Strat. Strat, a Tele, Les Paul. You can make it sound like different acoustic models, a baritone guitar. You can change the tuning, and I'll show you a little bit of that. But what I like about it is I get to just kind of bring in kind of an electric tone throughout some of my songs and blend those with the acoustic properties. So here's kind of, you know, and I'm not mainly an electric player, so I may not have the best ear when it comes to tone quality and what you're getting out of amps and drives and all that stuff. But what I like about it is just the flavor that it brings in. So that's all coming from the Roland, the 13 pin. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a pad underneath it as well. You can hear that pad kind of drifting off. So I've got an electric guitar playing and like a synth pad, like a soft synth, mellow synth kind of playing underneath it, which is really cool. So on its own, kind of cool. But then when you blend it in, this is where like I love the way it feels and sounds. You kind of get the best of all the worlds where it's... So you get that acoustic, you get the grit from the amp modeling, which is really cool. Real bitey sound that I could just jam along with, you know, like. That little kick is a Roland SPD-1 kick pedal, which is really cool too. So like if you're a solo performer and you want a little kick to go along with the song, kind of gives you that cool rhythm to follow along with, you know. But the other thing about the 13-pin connection is that you don't just have guitar modeling and everything else. With this X10 Slimline, you can make it sound like a drum if you wanted to. So here's, you know, drum sounds. Kind of cool. I mean, not something I would use all the time, but if I'm playing, you know, for a bunch of kids and I tell them, hey, you want to hear my guitar sound like a drum set? They'll be like, no way! You know, it's kind of like a magic show, if you will. But all kinds of cool stuff. It can sound like an electric piano. Kind of cool. You can make it sound like a regular piano. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. So that's kind of cool too. You can make it sound like trumpets if you wanted to. And really, I mean, anything. You can make it sound literally like anything that your mind can come up with. There's cool synth sounds. So when you're mixing all that stuff in, like I said, if you're a solo performer and you're at a gig and you want to get as many sounds out of a guitar that you can possibly get, the 13-pin connection with a Roland unit, or, you know, I think there's some other units that you can run that 13-pin with. The sky's the limit. I mean, you can come up with like really anything. So I figured I would play a little song. I just wrote this song, so I thought I'd play this song just so you could kind of hear what the guitar sounds like. Can you hear that synth? Here's another cool thing too, because this one might be something that people would like to hear. Especially, I lead worship in churches from time to time. So, like, if you're a worship leader, and maybe you're doing a solo set, and you want to have, you know, something like a synth underneath your strumming, this is a cool patch that I have. You can kind of hear that. Yeah, you can hear that synth underneath. So if you're just doing like a nice kind of acoustic set, it's just really cool. It just adds a whole other element to your sound. And then you can, you know, that's a synth, but you can also do strings underneath. So the strings are a little light there, but So it's cool. You know, different stuff you can mess around with. But like I said, I figured I'd play a song here. This is a brand new song. I just wrote it, and it'll give you a little taste. And this is going to be the kind of that amp modeling, a little bit of grit with the acoustic and the magnetic pickup all blended together. But it goes like this. Let's see here. Life gets you down when the going gets rough. Got the choice to show this world what we are made of. We won't stay down, we pick ourselves back up, and we learn from all the challenges because we know that makes us tough. Yeah, we gotta bounce back, yeah, we gotta get up. Never gonna stay down, gotta pick our head up. We can see past all the obstacles that may stand in our way. Yeah, we gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back today. Yeah. Woo! If we stay down, we're gonna really miss out. 'Cause every time we fall, we get back up, we go stronger. Without a doubt, yeah, I know you and I know what it's all about. To live a life that's indestructible, we're gonna make it somehow. Yeah, we gotta bounce back, yeah, we gotta get up. Never gonna stay down, gotta pick our head up. We can see past all the obstacles that may stand in our way. Yeah, we gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Today I said we gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back today, oh yeah. Na, 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 na. Here's a little flute. Gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Today I said we gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. Today I said we gotta bounce back, bounce back, bounce back today. So there's a little real life kind of scenario of how this guitar can kind of sound like a whole bunch of cool things in one setting. So highly recommend it. Emerald Guitars, X10 Slimline, piezo, magnetic pickup, and 13-pin all-in-one guitar. Super comfortable, super smooth, lots of fun to play. And if you're looking for a guitar, I cannot recommend the Emerald Company enough. From the way their guitars are made, the craftsmanship, to the team of people. Alistair and his team have been, hands down, some of the most amazing people to work with to help build a guitar for you the way you want it to look and sound. It's really awesome. So definitely recommend it. Hope this review helped you along with maybe some of your decision making. And I will leave the comments open. You can leave some comments on what you thought. Like I said, I don't profess to be the most amazing guitarist or know everything about tone and sounds and everything else, but I do have a lot of fun playing. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.